Hey y'all, it's Click for K. Thanks for clicking for me. And if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So if you watched my last video, which was me just having a heart-to-heart with y'all for real, then you saw my hair was pent up in that last video. And now I finally took it down because, you know, it's time to get fine. Fine. But anyways, this is the Seraphine wig. Like I said before, I've still been practicing my synthetic wigs. If you got any synthetic wig recommendations that I should try, let me know. But I'm really loving this wig. This how long or how far down it come. I think it's outre Seraphine, and then I think it's like a T part, and it's like this much lace in the front, so you could put on like a little headband or whatever, but not too much. I was gonna try to do like the Bantu knot hairstyle that's been going viral, but I mean, clearly that's not gonna happen. So as you can tell by the title of this video, this is a story time. We'll be talking about the first time that I got lifted. It's really not even a funny story, or it wasn't a funny story at that time, because I really thought it was life or death. So anyway, before we get into the actual story, I got to give y'all a little bit of background. So at this time, I was in high school and I was dating somebody that I'm gonna call him Egypt. And if you know him, you may know why I'm calling him that. That's not nothing to do with his regular name, but I'm gonna call him Egypt. So I was dating him, and he had a brother and a sister, and him and his brother used to get lifted all the time off flour and candies or whatever. And I remember he would always ask me, and I was all set. I wasn't trying to have it, no. And I was actually kind of scared because I've heard other people's story time. So I'm gonna take these glasses off. Okay, because I see that this ring light is giving a glare that I'm not really appreciating. I can't see too well, y'all, okay? But it's not about me. Okay. This is about me coming clean. My name is Kayla T, and I got lifted. So anyway, it was my senior year in high school. You know, y'all had like the spirit weeks or whatever when you get closer to prom or whatever. I feel like it's closer to prom. But it was like a crazy day, dressed like a teacher day, senior skip day, and then it's the day, I think it's like a prank day or something like that. This was senior skip day, y'all. So you already know high school is pretty clicked up. I'm the type that I have friends out of all types of circles, because I was in choir. I was also on a cheer team. I did Palmer Red. I kind of moved around a little bit. So the clique that was going to the bowling alley, it was a good amount of them. I don't want to say I did not like them, but I felt like I wasn't close enough to them to want to go to the bowling alley. So everybody kind of split up. I know we all went out to dinner together, so that was not dinner. We all went to brunch together, so that was nice. Then after that, everybody kind of split up. So before we split up, I remember me and my best friend at the time that I was in high school with, she told me that somebody was selling pastries. I can't wink that good. Pastries or whatever. And I don't remember how much they was, but yeah, everybody was planning on doing it before they went to the bowling alley. Which it probably would have been lit to do it before he went to brunch, but not how it ended up for me. So anyways, yeah, so he was selling those. So I'm like, okay, I get it if you get it type thing. So, okay. So we found a person, purchased our pastries. I'm going to just say brownies. They was brownies. Purchased our brownies. And I remember me and her sitting in the hallway, and we debating like how much to get before we leave. Again, I'm planning on going to my boo house because we already went to brunch and stuff like that. And so I'm just kind of planning my day. Like, we're going to take it at the same time so we can be on the same type of tip. And so we both decided that we was going to take half of the brownie. So the brownie, y'all, this was the smallest brownie. And mind you, I just want y'all to keep in mind throughout this entire story that I had not even a piece of some flour, not even a piece of some candy, nothing. Like, completely, this was my first time ever having anything. So I wish somebody would have cared about me enough to tell me that if you haven't had no experience with that type of stuff, then your first time getting lifted should not be off something munchy. Well, I don't want to say that word. It shouldn't be off something that you can eat. Yeah. Nobody told me that. So the brownie was like this small, y'all. So I'm like, maybe we should just have half of it. I feel like it was even smaller than that. Let's say it was like this small. this small of a little square. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna have half of it. So I remember taking it, we split off, whatever. So now I'm on my way to my boo house. And I remember texting him like, yeah, I got a pastry, you can have the other half of it, whatever. And I'm thinking like, it tastes so good. Like, I didn't taste nothing, none of the remnants in there. And I've heard that sometimes when you get the little munchy food, that sometimes you can taste it in there. I didn't taste it. When I say the brownie tasted good, I'm like, maybe I got the wrong batch or whatever. So I remember I'm just driving over to his house. I feel like it was a little bit of time that passed before I actually got in the car. But anyway, I remember driving to his house. And then I'm like, I don't feel nothing. I think I should have the rest of it. Now, I'm happy to say, grateful to say that I had enough experience or heard enough to know, like, when you feel like you don't feel nothing and you had something that you can eat, you don't have the rest of it. I didn't have the rest of it, and I'm so happy. But I was thinking it though, because it was so good that I just wanted to eat the whole thing. So yeah, I'm driving, and I realized all of a sudden that my eyes are starting to get heavy. So I'm like, okay, maybe the sunlight is too bright. I remember thinking that, so I put the visor down. Then I started feeling like I couldn't see, so I put the visor back up. Then I remember I started feeling like I was driving sloppily, like driving crazy. So then now I'm focusing more on my driving, 10 and 2 type driving. So then I'm texting him like, okay, I'm almost at your house. And I remember his response was, they wasn't there yet. They'll be there in like 30 or so minutes. I'm a few minutes from his house. I'm thinking I'm still cool though. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. But I'm getting there, I think. I think I'm starting to feel something. So I remember I pulled into his house. And by the time I pulled into his house, my eyes are just kind of still heavy. And so I'm just waiting. So I remember thinking like, maybe this is what the start of it is. And so I started researching like symptoms or how do you know if you lifted type things. All I remember was that it kind of seemed like the moment was repeating back and forth, if that makes sense. Like, I remember that I was trying to type it in, and then I remember like, Kayla, type it in. And I look at my phone, I typed in like 2 letters. And then I daze out again, and then I think again like, Kayla, just finish typing it. And I'm like, oh my God. I looked up, and I remember everything was just in a daze. I remember hearing the cars go by distinctly while waiting in his driveway. And my heart was beating like on blaze, okay, in my ears. So at this point, I'm like, okay, something not right. Something's not right. Immediately, something's not right. So I remember telling him like, okay, I need you to hurry up because I don't know what's going on, but I don't feel right. I don't feel like myself. And I remember him calling me, and he just kind of, Egypt is just kind of laughing it off like, oh yeah, you feeling it? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be there in another 30 minutes, whatever. Like, he taking a long time to get there for real. And I'm like, okay. So I remember feeling like I needed some water and I needed air. So I remember opening up the door, and I don't know why I did this, y'all. Honestly, I feel like the whole time that this whole thing was going on, I felt like I was in a trance, y'all. So I got out the car, and I remember telling myself like, okay, Kayla, you need to wake up. Kayla, wake up. And I'm telling myself this because I'm thinking I'm in a coma. And I'm telling myself to wake up because I'm picturing that I'm in the hospital bed, all my family is surrounding me. And they waiting on me to get up from this coma because I didn't decided to have a pastry on senior skip day. And so I remember getting out the car, I'm walking around the car. And you know how when you open up the door to your car, you hear the ding. So my car is like ding, 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 ding. And then I remember hearing the cars like rushing past, you know, because he lives on a main street. So I'm hearing the cars rushing past, and I'm also hearing my door ding, 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 ding. Regular me, of course, you would just close the door because the ding is going off. And nobody's at the house, so why are you getting out the car? So I remember walking around the car and then going up to their house, which I don't know why I'm going up to the house again because nobody's home. So I remember sliding down the wall of their porch, and then I'm just sitting there with my legs open, just watching the cars go by. Like really feeling like a zombie, like trying to wake myself up. I've never felt nothing like this before. I can't even say it felt good. I felt like I was gone. Like, help. Please, somebody send help. Send the ambulance. Like, I feel like I was getting out the car to get somebody to help me, but nobody stopped to help me. And I still hear the car just ding, 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 ding. Then I'm like, okay, Kayla, if you are alive right now, you need to step out of it and then get in the car. Get back in the car so nobody see you like this. So his mama, I really didn't want his mama to come back to the house and see me spaced out on her porch looking crazy if I was alive in this moment. So I remember walking back to my car, very, very sluggish, very slow. Finally get back in the car. And you know who I called? My mama, the expert. Help. So I called my mama and I'm like, so one thing I gotta say about my mama and my relationship, the type of relationship me and my mama have is the type of relationship that I aspire to have with my child moving forward. Like, not moving forward because I don't have a child now, but when I do have a child, daughter or son, I aspire to have that same kind of relationship. The relationship is pretty much like, if I'm in a bad situation, whether I think you're gonna judge me or I think you gonna feel like it's right or wrong or whatever the case, it's bad or good, I'm willing to come to my mom because I know that her first instinct will be, is my daughter fine and how can I help her, versus I'm cussing you out. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point I am 18 and I'm learning how to make my own decisions. But I really appreciate like how she dealt with the situation. I appreciate how she dealt with really a lot of situations. I probably don't tell her that enough. But anyways, yeah, it's deeper than that. Y'all hearing other stories more about me and mama relationship, but just keep that in mind. So I called my mama and I'm like, Ma, today was senior skip day. She already knew that day was senior skip day. See, I wasn't one of the ones that wasn't telling my mom either that it was senior skip day. Ma, it's senior skip day. We not staying at the school. I just want you to know. She knew that we was going to breakfast and everything. She didn't know about the pastry though. So anyway, I told her I had a pastry. I told her that me and my best friend had the pastry. And I didn't even have the right mind to even reach out to that friend at that time because I can't even tell you what I was thinking about. So I'm calling her and I'm like, Ma, like, I don't feel like myself. Like, I feel like I'm not here right now. Like, I feel like, I just feel like I'm in a coma. Like, I don't feel right at all. I don't know what to do with myself. My heart is beating, like, in my ears. Like, I just remember telling her that. And she like, do you think he could have laced you? That's the worst thing she could have said to me. When she said, do you think he could have laced you? My anxiety went from here to here, okay? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like he would. Like, I feel like I had a good enough relationship where he wouldn't. And then my best friend, she had some too. And they actually pretty close. I don't think he would have laced her. And I'm like, oh my God. Did he lace me? I remember having that thought. And then I'm like, well, I don't think so. And then she's like, well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like you can jump off a building right now and fly? And I was like, no. And then she like, okay, well, I think you good. I think you just messed up right now. As long as you don't feel like you can jump off a building and fly, then you good. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I got his phone with my mama. And then now it's heightening, which to the point where I was getting out of the car and then sliding on the wall of their porch. I'm feeling like it can't get no worse than it already is. But no, it's getting worse and worse and worse, y'all. And I remember Googling, like, how long do it take for this to wear off? What to eat so this will wear off? Whatever. Nothing was making it better. And to make matters worse, it was sunny. So sunny outside. And I'm sitting in this driveway with no water, no nothing. And nobody to comfort me through this situation. Except for my mama. Even though, I mean, she just told me I was going to be straight. Whatever. So, my Egypt and his mom and brother and everybody, they ended up pulling up. So now, when I see them pulling up, I remember thinking like, okay, Kayla, this gotta be real life because he here now, you know. He here, so just straighten up because his mama's here. If this a dream or it's real life, you need to tighten up. Okay, I remember telling myself that. So I remember he came and he waved at me initially and he just smiling like, he thinking it's the best day ever. Like, haha, yeah, whatever. He opened up my door and I remember I was telling him like, I can't feel my feet. I can't walk. And he like, come on. He just laughing everything off. He not grasping the severity of the matter. Like I feel like I'm having a near unalive situation if I'm not unalive already. And you're not taking it as seriously as you need to. So we finally get in the house, whatever. After me moving, I swear I floated to the door, okay? And then I had to wait at the door for them to open it. And I'm like, oh my God, my legs are gonna give out. I can't even feel my legs, like whatever. And I remember his mom opened up the door and she allowed us to walk in first. So I'm just thinking like, Kayla, walk straight because I don't want her to be looking at me like, wrong with her. So we all, for whatever reason, he thought this was a good idea. We all come in and we all sitting at the island in the kitchen. So we all sitting around the island eating food or whatever, which I didn't want to eat or anything. No, what was we eating? Yeah, she had made some food. But I feel like I said I just wanted a little bit because I loved her food. Like, every time she would cook, I'd be the first one in the kitchen, like, over her shoulder, like, what you making? Ooh, what's that? What's this? I love you for blah, blah. She knew I loved certain meals. So if I were to turn down a plate, then she would have knew that it was off. So I remember, and I'm very talkative, especially with, like, my partner's people. At least at that time, I would say I was very talkative with her because I was very comfortable with her. But I remember everybody chatting and throwing the comments into whatever they talking about, and then everything every time something comes back to me, I don't have a response. And the way it was set up was crazy. You would think Egypt would have had my back, but I'm sitting here, his mom is at that end of the table, and then they sitting on the sides. I feel like him knowing the state that I was in, he should have just been like, okay, we're gonna go upstairs, y'all, or whatever, or I'm gonna bring Kayla food up. Something have my back. He just over there snickering, laughing, telling his brother, telling his sister, or whatever. His mom asking me questions, and I'm just like, you know, this is what I feel like I'm saying. I probably was talking to her, but I'm like, I don't know. And then eventually, at some point, Egypt came up to me, and I'm like, I need to go upstairs. And of course, this is funny to him too. So finally, he get his laughs out, and then he helps me walk up the stairs. And I remember wanting to ask him so many different things, but not being able to get it from my brain to my mouth, and then actually like having sound come out. It was times that I felt like I was communicating with him, but he didn't respond. So I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't say it out loud. Like maybe I didn't say what I think I said, whatever. All I remember was laying down on that bed, baby, and it was over. It was literally over. And I remember him like nudging me at different times, like trying to talk to me, but I just know I was in and out. So I remember one of the things he said, he was like, did you have this pastry? And I'm like, yeah. He like, I want to feel how you feeling. And I'm like, no, you don't. I promise you, you don't. You don't want it. And then I know I fell back to sleep. Woke back up. I don't know how much time done passed, but it's dark outside. And he like, I had it, and I don't feel nothing. I don't know how you feeling, whatever. And it's crazy that he even had it, because he was also questioning me about whether or not I think the person laced or whatever. But anyway, he had it. He didn't feel not a thing. Then I remember going back to sleep. Like I said, it was already dark. Woke back up. Then I remember he was trying to give me water. And then I could not drink the water, y'all. The water, I would put it in my mouth, and it was like my throat wouldn't open to close. Like all of the water just was coming down my mouth. He like, I don't know. Maybe something is wrong. Like maybe I should take you to the hospital. I'm like, no, I don't know. Maybe you should. Like I didn't know to tell him to take me to the hospital, because really I really felt like I was already there. Or if we would have been going to the hospital to tell them that I just had a pastry and it's my first time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, let's wait it out. Thankfully we did, y'all. I slept it out. I slept it off. And it took a long time before, not even that long. It took maybe about a year before I started experimenting again. But when I did experiment again, I started experimenting with flowers. Because I'm like, maybe the food is not for me. Maybe I'm not supposed to have that. It's too much for me. And it was. My disclaimer to y'all is don't indulge. And if you do, and it's your first time and you're of age, then I would say try flowers first before you try to eat something. Because the thing about eating stuff is that you don't know how much it is. Like honestly, oh no, I want to say you do know what it. You know how much it is if you get it from a dispensary in most cases. But if you buy it from somebody off the street like I did, taking a half, you don't know how much that half is. That half that you took might have 150 mgs in there, you know what I'm saying? So whenever I have something that you eat now, I make sure I get it from the dispensary. I make sure I get it from the dispo. And then I make sure that it's a certain amount of mg, so I know that I can handle it or whatever. But yeah, like I said, I ended up going straight to flowers. And then the funny thing is, after I told Mama that story, she was asking me about it again. She wanted to try it. And I'm like, I will not be asking that young man for any of his pastries ever again. I promise you. But so since then, I've never had another brownie food with that stuff in it. I've had other ones, but I have not tried another brownie because I don't know what it is about the chocolate. I don't know if that enhances like the whatever. And if you know more than me, comment down below and let me know. But I will not. I don't think I can't even talk. I'm all set on a brownie. Okay. Hey y'all, that's the first time that I got lifted. I thought I was in a coma, but I wasn't. I'm still here before y'all today. And I've only told this story so many times, y'all, because it's really kind of embarrassing that I really thought that I was having an unalive experience. But you know. We all have it. If you would, I'm sure you got a story too. And if you want to share your story, make sure you comment down below because I will read it, y'all. I will read it. Okay, y'all. Thanks for watching. Let me know what other videos y'all want me to make in this new year. As per my last video, y'all see that I am taking this seriously. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. All right. See y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.